All right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Doug is going to open with a prayer for us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just remain standing, please. In an attitude of prayer, let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, our salvation and guiding light, grant us peace to accept the things we do not control and cannot change. Yet give us the wisdom and courage to make change for the betterment of the citizens we serve. Scripture tells us that God opposes the proud and arrogant, but gives grace to the humble. We ask humbly for your wisdom and direction with the leadership, decisions, and responsibilities that we make. We also ask for prayer for not only our county elected officials, but for our state and federal officials as well. We ask this in your holy name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Doug. All right. Well, very good. Steve Bailey is not here. He's got obligations today that keeps him away from us. I'm sure he's going to miss us, but we'll carry on. Looking at the minutes from February 18th, 2025. Doug, did you see anything?
I did make several corrections that were pointed out by Doug and Steve.
Okay.
Those are all corrected.
Okay, with that being
The one
said,
that you have,
yeah, with that being said, I see no other additional corrections, Stan, so I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
All right, second that.
this is the actual correct one. You guys don't know if you have. You should have the
I
correct
got,
one too.
you put mine up.
This one I just need signed.
Okay.
Morning, Mark.
Hey, Mike.
All right. And, agenda in place. Tony, what all do you have for us today?
I have quite a bit. First of all, I put in front of you this morning, I think the press got some of that too. We have the animal control report submitted by Chad Sprunger. He entered into the record. If you didn't get a copy, let me know, but I'm pretty sure I left it on idea.
All right, we got a total of 12 animals that he has picked up.
That's animal control, not to be confused with animal shelter.
That's right. From Geneva, Decatur, Bern.
Never had a wild horse, have they?
I didn't look.
There have been horses got out. I know our neighbor had a black horse that would get out at night sometimes. That was dangerous.
I had a pig once in Wells County.
A pig?
A bunch of pigs got out.
Yeah. There's got to be a joke in there somewhere.
As
Okay,
Stan, I see, I've read through this, total of 12 animals, 221 miles driven at 70 cents per mile, 154.70. So I move that we accept the animal control report as submitted.
I'll second that. Okay, and then the animal
Shelter, that's next. And on the bottom left, it'll tell you how many were transferred, claimed, how many they still have, and so forth. I think the press got a copy of that also, right, Eric?
That's all we need, yeah. We got all three of them.
So they currently have 5 cats and 4 dogs. All right, any questions on that?
And I'll move that we accept the report as submitted and would highly recommend, and citizens in Adams County, if you're looking for a cat or a dog, you know, always keep the our animal control shelter in mind. So I'll move that we accept, Stan.
I'll second that. All right.
Okay, I also presented you with the monthly weights and measures report submitted by Inspector Dan Hackman. There was actually a report on this one, Eric.
Yeah, you did something this time.
Were you here last time when he reported he didn't work for the whole month?
There was no
Yeah.
report.
Probably is needed. Maybe it wasn't needed. I will accept this month's report as submitted.
Yeah. You did have some rejected, so.
All right.
Okay, I
I'll
also
second
have
that.
utilities paid in Lao, I think I handed to you as well. I also put in front of you the 2024 month of February.
Did you want to look at that? He's got it.
I gave him the
I
other
got
two.
it.
He's
I
got
got a
it
copy
too.
of it.
Stan had been asked, I think it was Stan that asked for a comparison last year to this year, and that's what that is. It gives you, they're actually pretty close.
Almost
So-
identical. Yeah.
Anyway,
Very good. I appreciate you doing that, Tony.
the utilities paid in Lao are this time are in the amount of 41,629.83. 41,629.83.
Okay, Steve Verizon, MediaCom.
We don't get those, that's just the bottom.
See. And this is a monthly thing
Yeah.
that comes up, right? Utilities, okay. I don't have any questions. I don't know, Stan, you want to go through just for the sake of, people present, exactly giving them an idea of how much the county pays in all these areas?
We sure can, yeah. If you'd like to. AEP, and this is for a total for all of the, I believe, is it 18 buildings that the county?
All the buildings, all the departments pay.
Yeah. AEP 23,570, NIPSCO 924502, Brightspeed 316225, Verizon $620.28, MediaCom 145.43, Adams Wells Internet 119, AT&T 781.29, FirstNet, and that's for our emergency responders, $3,138.12. J County REMC, $234.87. US Bank, $613.57 for a total of $41,629.83 for the month.
Just for my curiosity, US Bank, what does that actually involve, Tony?
I don't know.
No, I'm not the only one.
I don't know.
Stan, you have any idea?
No, I don't. I don't.
Is it a
know.
monthly?
It's a
Are
monthly.
those service fees for tax collections or anything like that? No.
We don't do it. We don't.
I'll tell you what, Tony.
I'll find out.
I'll accept the report, but, maybe next week, just tell us what US Bank is.
I mean, I know what US Bank is, but I don't know necessarily why they'd be on utilities.
Yeah, that's kind
So,
of my thought here.
I'll find out.
So, Mark, it's okay to go ahead and accept that?
Yeah.
The 41?
Unless, our credit card is not through US Bank.
No.
Mhm.
No, you just find out.
Okay, just go ahead and accept the report as submitted. Okay, I will, Stan, I move that we pay the utilities as reported on this, documentation.
All right, I'll second that.
Look on those 2024 amounts that I gave you. See if US Bank is
Okay,
on.
Adams County Treasurer, US Bank, it says.
You don't do anything with the US Bank.
Well, the 2024 has some figures down. 2025 has Adams County Treasurer, US Bank.
That's what 24 says too.
Everything goes through the treasurer's office.
It's
Well,
some sort of
just-
utility.
Yeah, just get us clarification next week. Okay, I made motion, Stan.
I'll second that.
Or I can find out and see where
Okay.
Glenda pulls that from too, so.
Okay.
Okay,
I said next week, Ed, you don't have to write.
You gotta be one there now.
All right.
can we get a vote on that then?
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
fast action.
That's good service.
Yep, Duggan and me.
See, I'm not a slick talking politician, trying to make up something. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the facts.
Anyway.
You don't know, let's find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, next we have Eastern Alliance Workers' Comp claim. She accidentally put Easter instead of Eastern, but we know it's Eastern. And that's in the amount of $2,852.57, $2,852.57.
So moved.
Second.
You guys wanna look at that?
Dan, you gotta sign it somewhere or not?
No.
Steve will raise that.
Steve's stamp, that's what,
Okay, got it.
when Stan was there, we had Stan's stamp.
All right.
I probably still have this.
Probably. Come in handy.
I might still have one for Doug, wait, from somewhere. Okay. We are going to have two Allied weekly health insurance claims and two monthly claims. The two monthly claims we just somehow missed, but we're catching up now on January and February. But the first one I have is the weekly health insurance claims from Allied, and this one's in the amount of $18,190.55. And that is, let's see, all medical. Okay. There was one slight adjustment, but 18,190.55.
You okay with that, Stan?
Yeah.
Move. So moved.
There's that. There's a big jump from that weekly claim to this weekly claim. The next Allied weekly health insurance claim is in the amount of $87,253.43. And of that, prescriptions is $35,815.57, medical $51,437.86. And that is a total of $87,253.43, and I did verify the claimants on both of these.
You okay with that, Stan?
Yeah, especially after talking to Dr. Smith this morning.
Yeah.
They had a
Well,
record month.
I will move, do we accept the 87,253.43? We, in the county, have always provided our employees with excellent health care benefits, and I suppose some of these figures reflect that.
Okay, I'll second that.
And next we have one of the monthly, this is for the month of January. This is the monthly administrative cost to have the insurance. And the January claim is in the amount of $80,957.82. $80,957.82. His stamp is not on this one or the next one if you want to sign it.
Does
Or-
that include the year-end catch up?
So
might
move,
include
Stan,
some
we
of the-
accept that one. While you're signing.
Because the February one is lower than that. I think there's some bank fees or something on that one, Stan, if you look.
You second that, Stan?
Yeah.
That one had some bank fees that we don't see on this one.
Then you'll pay monthly bank fee.
That's the only,
November RCID fees.
I'm guessing I was catching up with year end.
That's what
It's February flats.
okay, you got it signed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion is carried, I guess. All right, Stan?
Yep.
Okay.
1269. Okay, did you guys figure that one out? The next monthly for February 2025 is $71,770.20. $71,770.20, and again, that's the administrative cost of the insurance for February.
Lots of money for insurance.
Hey, Ethan's my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to think my computer did an update. It's asking for a password to get it.
And this is unusually high because you're playing catch up on a couple
Well,
months
on
here,
the
right?
first one,
On the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this one's about your normal monthly fee right here that
Okay.
Stan has.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'd accept a motion to.
Yeah, I move, we
approve that
accept it.
claim.
Okay. Oh, can you approve that, Stan?
Give it to Tony.
See that?
You should receive via email the payroll time card approval. If not, they're all right here. Payroll time card approval for the appointed department heads.
Yeah, I want to look at that, Stan, a little bit before we make a motion on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony, I'm gonna take a little bit, look at this.
Okay. While you're looking at that, we do have the payroll claims, and the payroll claims are in the amount of 390,495.81,
It's coming up.
390,495.81.
But it's, I'm good.
So
I
moved
used
on
to take it
payroll,
back to
Stan.
the office.
Second.
Is that all right? Okay, perfect. Thanks.
On to the next thing, all these.
Is that all you had?
No, I've got a couple, one, a little bit more. Every year, the hospital sends over for the commissioner's approval and signatures, uniform conflict of interest disclosure statements. One is David McIntyre, the other is Dr. Scott Lehman, to relieve any fear of conflict of interest. All right. So those are right here. There are 2 copies for each because I need to get Adam Miller back 1 copy.
You need those signed?
Yeah, I need these approved. One is for David McIntyre. The other is Scott Lehman. Conflict of interest.
Okay,
Do them separately or together?
we can go together as far as I'm concerned. I move that Stan sign the, conflict of interest forms for hospital board members.
Look and see if it requires. And actually have one for all of you, even though Steve's not here. Adam did say that Steve Bailey did not need to be here. It's just fine with you 2 signing.
Okay, I'll second
So
that.
those 2 there are McIntyre. The next 2 that I'll give you are for Scott Lehman. And it lists the reason
Require all
for it on
signatures
the
this
bottom
year,
there.
Stan.
Yeah, oh,
It tells you why
there's
they.
lines for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, I'll just do it this way. I signed the wrong line, but I'll get this one right.
And then this is Scott Lehman's too.
All right. Because we had a motion to approve both of them, I thought.
Right.
And I'll get Adam back this copy.
I think I got one more though. There's one more coming.
Sign here, yeah. Back up a little bit. I will move that we accept the payroll time card approval. And I need you need a second that, Stan?
Yeah, I'll second that.
$24, isn't it?
5.
5.
25. Wasn't that a song in the year 25?
Sager and Evans, actually. Music trivia for everyone.
Ed's got the answer.
I do.
All right, shoot it.
It is for, lease contract payments for, printers, IT stuff. I walked into Glenda Noonan's office and she happened to have one of the invoices. She said she gets 4 of those every month, for different things. And I just made a quick copy of that just to show
Okay,
you.
thanks, Ed.
That's what it is.
We've already approved it, so. we're good.
Must be just going through US Bank for payment.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not our credit card, is it, yes, Bank?
No.
All right,
It's probably
thanks, Ed.
payment set up on those leases.
Very good.
That is all that I have.
All right, Nate, what do you have for us?
For you. Got a, update for you on that Bridge 44 bid that we had open last week. I completed my review of the bids provided on February 18th. There were corrections required to the low bidder due to 2 errors on the bid form that they provided. I sent you an email with a review of that just earlier this morning. After conferring with both Clayton and Matt Jones from Pioneer, Pioneer has agreed to honor the corrected bid form, which does not make them the low bidder, but does lower the final bid price that they, what was read out at the last meeting. I did speak with the low bidder regarding the error, and we would speak to you, the commissioners. Ultimately, it's up to you if you're willing to accept the updated and low bid. Pioneer's bid was $135,435.40 as corrected. So if you elect to reject the bidders or reject the bid based on that.
There was no point where Pioneer had access to see the other quotes.
No, so until.
So it's still a fair bidding process then?
Yep, so it was publicly read, it didn't move them or swap them, they weren't like second, and then with this correction, move them into the position where they were the low bidder. But again, it's ultimately up to you, is your decision if you want to accept that bid as presented or not. But I had informed Matt that that's a possibility that could be held against them because
I
of
mean,
that.
I think it's great that they're still the low bidder. I mean, I just want to make sure that we're not giving anybody any preferential treatment by additional coming back to the table.
Mark, we're okay with that, aren't you? With the Pioneer Associates, Nate had to make a couple corrections on the bid process, but they still come in low.
Yeah,
We're not, okay, then with that being said, Stan, I move that we accept the Pioneer Associates low bid.
I'd second that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Also-
because there was so much difference there. It just seemed like something was.
Well, there were some unit prices, there was unit price and quantities that what was shown on the bid form, it was something back end on their software as it was described to me. It was clear and apparent, but thankfully it didn't make them low. They were already the low as of the bid opening. They just were there. They just were typically when we do the bid tab, that's why you do it. Do the
Well-
review to make sure everything adds up. And
Hopefully they
unfortunately, it was an issue.
appreciated the opportunity to come back and make that correction.
I'm sure they do. No one likes to be low and then lose a job. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of work for that. So, yep. So This is on, this 44. That was those 2 west, just south of 224. 200 west. Yeah. So it's that little structure there. So with that then, what we've got is I've got the bid opening for Bridge 180. This is the one on County Road 825 South and County Road 650 West. I have in front of me 5 bids that have been submitted. So I'm going to go ahead and open those, order the stack, and just read those numbers aloud. So.
You don't need any help from Paul.
I should be here.
which project is this, Nate?
This is Bridge 180.
Is this for a new bridge or just a
This is a replacement.
replacement, new bridge?
Yep. So first bid, this is from Milestone Contractors LP out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Got their bid, it's like the acknowledgement of the addendums. Form 96 are all here. lump sum bid total is $1,266,520.77. 1,266,520.77. Next bid is from Fleming Excavating Inc. out of Decatur, Indiana.
Am I looking at the right list? Fleming's not on here.
Fleming is not on there. They were not on the plan holder list from the Eastern Engineering Plan Room, but they've likely got their plans through one of the other plan room services that we have. So that list on that form is not always exclusive.
Gotcha.
So it's the best available list of bidders that I've got. So prior to bid. All right, so there's their bid form, acknowledgement of addendums 1 and 2, and looks like I got Form 96 as well. And I did not mention the bid bond, so there's a bid bond included. All right, the bid from Fleming Excavating is $1,194,352.41. 1,194,352.41. Bid number 3 is provided by Judy Excavating out of Fort Recovery, Ohio.
Did you say that was it was 650 west, what was the south on it?
It is 825 south, 650 west. It's a double pipe structure running southwest and northeast through that intersection. It actually cuts across both roads, so it's right at the crossroads there.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Right. Got acknowledgement of addendum here. There's 496. Appears to be the bid bond as well. Bid from Judy Excavating is $694,594.38. 694,594.38.
Wow.
Fourth bid from Pioneer Associates out of Albion, Indiana. Bid. Forms, acknowledgement of the addendums. 496. And the bid bond. Bid from Pioneer Associates is $1,267,399.00. 1,267,399.00. And the final bid is from Morphy Construction out of Indianapolis, Indiana. $196 declarations. There's their bid bond. And the acknowledgement of the addendums. Bid from Morphy is for $1,159,994.00. 1,159,994.00. That's, I would like to thank everybody that put bids together. I know we got a couple here in the audience. Wait for the reading of those. I know it's a lot of work to do these. And I would like to recommend to the commissioners to take these under advisement. I'll put a bid tab together and then, contact the apparent low and bring this back to you at your next meeting.
So moved that we take all bids under advisement.
I'll second that. Well, once again, we got a situation where we got one that's just
We got a low. Hey, that's all right.
considerably different. Yeah.
Well, you bid.
That's why you do it. So we'll have to go through it. And then I'll
They
save
all
any.
had all their paperwork in.
Yep, so we just gotta go through the paperwork and what they've submitted, make sure everything's in order.
Okay, one question on the bridge. I did make the motion, Stan. Did you second it?
Yes,
Take
I
it on
did.
the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, the crossroad that's on, is it
Want me to come up there?
yeah, come and take a look at, okay. Is this an unimproved road then?
This section does not continue through, but this is a improved road, so it's that little crossroad right
Yeah,
there.
but what is this right here? Is that a mud road?
That's
or
a
what is it?
gravel road
It's
there.
a gravel road,
Yeah.
but it doesn't go into Wells County Road.
There's a house on that. It is essentially a dirt road that gets, we have issues with that.
Okay,
But, you know, it's crossing through that intersection.
yeah, I see that.
So we've got field entrances and the like that are on there, but we're just right in the middle of that.
Okay,
Did you say 625 west, 850 south?
650 west, 825 south.
Yeah.
It's an unimproved road. It's a gravel road coming from the east, and then is it actually a dirt road that goes into Wells County that no one uses?
Goes to, yes, dirt road that goes to the county line. There's a house on the other end of it though that comes in off the county line, but it doesn't come through.
Doesn't complete it.
Dem Warriors Road, if that helps you.
Yeah,
Identify it.
okay, okay, it's down there by Denmark, okay,
That's
okay,
right-
just out of
that's right
curiosity.
here.
I got it right here.
So any other questions for me then?
Yep, nope, I have none.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kind of a weird intersection.
Yeah. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Right. Brad, what do you have for us? Morning.
Morning. All right, so the first thing, if you remember 300 north from 27 to the Wells County line, we put out for community crossings, which we will not find out about probably till beginning of April. But we
Okay.
would like your permission to go ahead and advertise it. That way we can get the ball rolling, and when we find out, we're ready to go.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
I mean, do we need to take some action on that or just,
Well, other than just to advertise it, probably.
Basically, yeah, asking permission to
yeah,
advertise it.
I have no problem with that.
The next thing, we have one permit, and it is on Pickle Road, and I need a copy of this, Tony, because you can get one. On Pickle Road between 000 and 850 North. If you remember, they've been working that way along Pickle Road, so they're just finishing out 850 North, replacing some poles and replacing the main line also.
Who's doing that? What company?
I'm sorry, it is Indiana, Michigan. Yep, sorry.
That's something else.
Yep, replacing poles in the primary wire.
I move we give consent for this work to be done on, what is it, 850 North, you said?
Pickle Road between 000 and 850 North.
Okay,
All right, I'll second that.
And then the other thing, Paul handed out to you also is our annual operations report, which is our report from all last year. So basically, we hand these out and you gentlemen, take the week to look at them, and then we can sign it and finalize it, talk about it next week.
okay.
But there is quite a bit there to take in. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and have Paul, we discussed stone roads. I think last week we talked about it. But, of course, with what's happening now with the thaw, phone calls are starting. So we just want to make sure that everybody is aware and understands that right now is not a great time, but Paul will go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we come up with this, passed it out to the media a couple of weeks ago. I tried to do it in the spring, when we first start getting phone calls for the roads. It's kind of like our protocol, give them a heads up, a lot of information maybe that the public doesn't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and read down through it since there might be some public that are listening to the meeting here. So Stone Road is called our Stone Road Winter Maintenance. So stone roads are difficult to maintain during the winter season with fluctuating temperatures. Frozen ground cannot be graded. Snow and ice removal are limited to protect the aggregate surface. Sand is spread on the curves, intersections, and for traction. Salt cannot be used on the stone roads because it's melting frozen aggregate, causing an unstable road surface and rutting. Typically during the spring fall, which is this time of year, stone roads are challenging to maintain, much like our hard surface roads. It is when it is most vulnerable. The faster the ambient temperature rises and the roadbed begins to thaw, the more unstable the stone roads become. This roadbed thaws from the top surface down, preventing water from penetrating the frozen layers, which then causes excessive water saturation on the surface. When the stone road is undergoing the thaw cycle, the surface of the road is the consistency of mud, eliminating the option of grading the road to improve its drivability. Also, applying new stone to a muddy surface will reduce the stability of the new stone road, making it even more difficult for vehicular travel. The proper time to perform routine stone road maintenance and apply additional stone is when the roadbed is completely thawed and settled, with the adequate moisture remaining in the aggregate to achieve this compaction.
And I'm impressed. Who wrote that?
I did.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's very well done.
Thank
You know, the problem is going to be, no matter how well it's written, no matter how well Eric covers it, no matter how well Ed does his job, people don't get it. They're going to complain about muddy roads, soft roads, all that.
Yep.
But you guys have got it well covered. I really do appreciate that.
Just as a little informational, we actually went out and talked to one of the local excavators today, and we knew a month ago the frost was about 2 foot in the ground, and he just dug yesterday, and he said it's already about 1 foot now. So the frost is coming,
Yeah.
and we're really hoping, we keep these 50-degree days up, by next week, hopefully, maybe end of week, middle of week, that we can actually get out and do something, at least start to do
Yeah.
something. So
Well,
it's coming.
I totally understand, and I'm sure Stan and Steve does too. So it's just one of those things where you kind of got to turn your cheek and take the heat.
And it's the same way every year.
Yeah.
This year was a little more drastic.
Well, we had the early thaw and then it froze again and now it's thawing again. And, you get a couple of nice days and people are thinking spring's here. We need to go. And we all know in reality, that's not how it works.
So we are keeping an eye on them. As soon as they're ready, we're gonna get out on them.
Well, yeah, I can see if you get on it too early when all that moisture's at the top, it's gonna be like gravy mud.
And it is. And if you start adding aggregate to it, then pretty soon then you got 6 inches of soft and then we're getting vehicles stuck and that's worse of a problem than dodging some potholes.
Yeah.
So now we just want to make sure that gets out and people,
Yeah.
we are aware, we're watching.
Good
Yeah.
job. Good job.
So the next thing I have, the last few years, we've been buying truck chassis ahead of all this emission stuff. And we've talked about the emission stuff and talked about it. And it was really interesting. There was actually an article in Construction Equipment Magazine we just got, and the title is "Pre-buy Heavy Trucks Are Facing Consequences." And really quick, I'll just hit some of the highlights because it was interesting. They're really, now that we're getting closer, they see what's coming. And so these truck manufacturers are giving some recommendations. And they are saying that when this new equipment comes on these motors to meet the EPA regulations on the exhaust, you're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 more because of the emissions. And they're also saying more costs to the manufacturer. And who are they going to pass that on to? They pass it on to the customer, that's normal practice. And they can expect even more maintenance complications in 2027 because once all this comes out, you've got to have the technicians to work on. And they said they're having a problem keeping technicians because it's so tough to deal with. And this gentleman in this article said, if you're not in line, they're not going to build your truck if you don't get in line soon. So one thing they stressed, don't wait till the last minute. Don't expect to wait till 26 and order trucks before 27. So that leads me into what Paul's going to discuss a little bit, what we would like to ask you gentlemen.
So my leading into, we've sat down with Becky in our office and done some budget looking, and I would like to ask permission to pursue 2 more tandem axle chassis yet this year. So we can get ahead of this. I think that'll put us in a good spot to where we can wait till the dust settles for a couple years and see what happens out of this.
And we had thought originally, we'd already talked about that, but the way this sounds, it could be a while, even longer than we thought, to get to that point after all this goes into effect. And they said, sorry to jump in, but they said in this article, what's going to happen is, even on your big trucks, they're going to start pushing
The electric.
hybrid and electric. Because they said the cost of a diesel truck is going to get to be so high, it's going to be more expensive eventually than the hybrid and electric vehicles. So I hate to say it, but it's being forced. But we would like to get ahead of the game if possible. And that way we don't have to worry about it for a while.
I understand what you're saying, and it appears to me that you're trying to get ahead of the game here. And I agree that as requirements are pushed on manufacturers, it's going to get passed on. The question I have is, if permission is granted, will you have to go before council for an additional appropriation because you probably don't have it in your budget?
That is correct.
Yep.
We have
it
the
in
money.
We have it in the checkbook. We just have to
Yes.
appropriate it to a certain line. So it would be coming out of our local road and streets and would go into the 42,800 truck and equipment line.
That would take council approval.
Correct, yes, we're gonna have to go to council, if you gentlemen give us permission, we're still gonna have to go to council, but the sooner we did not foresee it being this drastic. You know, we've been trying the last couple of years, which you have allowed us to do, but the way this sounds, it's gonna be a real mess.
Yeah, now, okay, the 2 trucks you're talking about, before all of this stuff came through, before you read the article and everything, you were planning on those for next year anyhow? Or were those not on the drawing board even for next year?
We were hoping to do a truck a year is kind of the way we're doing until the new pollution stuff come out. But right now, instead of, the way it looks is we want to move them up if possible, try to get ahead of it, order these 2 trucks, and then we should be set in a good place to where we'll have, most of our old trucks will be replaced. So we'll be sitting pretty good to ride this out, see where it ends up.
Tandems?
Tandems.
So like I said, you know, this goes into effect in 27.
Yeah.
They're saying 26. If you're not already now in line, you're not going to get a truck at 26.
Well, Stan,
27
I'll be honest with you. I think they're thinking this thing out pretty darn good. And I would have a tendency to agree with what they're asking here.
I don't disagree, and I definitely understand your methods. I'm just afraid of what the couple trucks we've just replaced, and if we get a couple more. Of course, if we have an on order, that doesn't mean we're gonna get them in 26. Or even, they might be 27 till you actually get them, but at least they'll be without all the
They'll be
additional
ordered.
restrictions.
Yeah.
But the only thing is I'm afraid of stacking up with all new trucks to where when it comes time
In
to
the
10 years
next-
to
yeah.
replace them, all of a sudden we've got 4 trucks that need to be replaced at the same time again.
Right.
But, yeah, I definitely understand what you're doing, and I don't disagree.
And
So-
typically, you know, yeah, we understand that too, because we've talked about that too. You know, if you get a bunch of trucks all at once, they're gonna come due about the same time.
Yeah.
And right now, you know, we've been able to do them like a year and so apart. So yeah, it'll be close.
But
Well-
just because the year is the same doesn't mean the mileage is going to
And
be the
that's the
same.
other thing too, depending on what township they're in, the mileage they cover, what we're doing that year. Yeah, normally they don't all fall at the same time.
If you can kind of watch the mileage and rotate trucks around to.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, Stan, I don't know if we knew to put this in form of a motion or not, but I would agree with their request.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly whether you're looking at bidding 2 more trucks out. Is that what you're?
Yeah, we're gonna have to bid them out.
Yeah, I would just say put it in the form of a motion to approve them, acquiring 2 additional trucks subject to approval and appropriation of the county council.
Sounds good to me. I use Mark's language. Motion made.
Yeah, I'll second that. And if there's anything that might work to our advantage, if as those additional restrictions come about, it might up the resale value of some of the equipment that we've got.
Right.
Yeah, you're hitting it on the head because that's what we're thinking too. Because even like right now, older trucks, and I'm not saying ours, older trucks that don't have all the emissions on, they're bringing very good money right now.
Yeah.
When were you thinking of asking for that additional?
We were gonna talk to you today. We'd like to get put on the agenda
If
for,
it's for March, it's gotta be today, because we're sending it
Yes.
over to be advertised.
Yeah. yes.
Get it on for March.
Get
Yeah,
that,
that's
get
what,
the
we were gonna
form.
talk to you today, trying to.
Have Becky or Paul or somebody send the form over for the
Okay.
additional appropriation and all that. And
Yep.
Isn't it just a transfer? Is it a transfer?
Well, the money needs
We don't
appropriated.
have it in a specific line.
Oh, okay.
It's in our account, but we gotta bring it out of our account and put it on a line.
Be a transfer and appropriation.
It depends on if it's series to series and we'll get it figured out.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to me and Glenda later.
Thank you for your time. That's
Yeah.
all we have, other than thankful of the weather right now. This is
All right.
good. So,
Don't secure your plows yet.
We're not
Some of
putting
these
them away
stuff
yet.
till 2028 also, possibly.
Our trucks?
No,
our trucks we want to have by next year,
Why next
by
year?
26.
26, okay.
That way we beat that in
On the
27.
Right of way,
Thank you.
poles or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about this.
You just need the cover sheet.
I'll talk to you
Yeah,
after.
He was here a little bit ago.
Sign ordinance. Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about
I don't know where he went.
He might come back still.
address numbering?
All right. Ed, what do you have for us? Let's go to,
The only thing I have is next week, I'm at my county, Spring County Treasurers Association State Conference, so I won't be here. But then the following week, we'll do the monthly.
Thanks, Ed.
all right. Mark, since you're here, if you want to come on up, that'd be a good time.
3 of them today.
Yeah, the next part of it.
We're quick, Mark.
That's River Bend, where's this one?
115 west, 800 south.
800 south, that would be, 50 west, 800 south, be right there, by the river, right by the river, huh?
Yeah.
That's right, go Riverbend.
Yeah. It's gotta be on the east side of the road. Huh, Jerry Wiki,
This is west.
where's your bridge?
Down there.
Okay, you're coming up north. Okay, where's the high school's up here?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I know they just sold that off.
So yeah, they're taking this blue piece and they're turning it into 3 equal
Who owns it
pieces.
now?
The reason that is from China, there's still a law on that bridge. He was using Buckeye locks.
Another one of those deals.
That's a staggering.
Okay,
difference.
this was Marquee Builders here, right?
But you just a good company, isn't it?
I don't know how.
He owns, I know he owns farther north.
Oh, okay, got you. I'm a little bit too far south. Okay, I got you. Oh, boy. Okay, they want to split those off.
All the same.
What's the intent down the road?
We don't ever know that. They just split it.
Hmm.
Gotta have at least 2 acres. You gotta have road frontage and that's
So,
all we got
okay,
so far.
Mark Hoffolder. Who's Village Acres?
I have no idea.
Marlo Lutz.
We just look at the size and access.
Well, I mean, it's legal. There's nothing wrong with it.
Is the way that this is coming up, is this the way, so this Maria Lutz, is the way this is being platted consistent with how current ownership is? Or no? How is it? Is it all owned by one now and it's being split?
That's why they're all, their names are on there.
So is it owned tenants in common? Don't know.
That's legal stuff. I don't do that part.
Yeah, see, that's,
Well, I can tell you up here, it's gonna come to us pretty quick, is your former business is going,
Subdivision. That's what they-
24, that's 24 acres too. That's burn, fringe.
Yep.
Yep,
what road? Oh, this is 150 west.
Yep.
West.
the high school will be up here, Mark.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you
Is
go
there-
south, it goes across the Price Bridge or Wabash River.
There's another one. There's another one up on 700 that we just did.
Well, I don't know, Plan Commission Thursday night, we approved. No, we did not. I'm trying to think. Because it was a water issue, but
Yeah, right.
I'm almost, sure it's gonna go.
Right.
Marquee Builders.
I had a, just,
I knew he was working on it.
I talked to Pat about. Pat has
Some of the
some of the,
legal stuff that you haven't
Yeah.
dealt with.
Mhm.
Right.
Which this may be one of those, but I don't know.
I don't know what the
That's-
intent is here.
that's-
I mean, yes,
That's
it's-
above my pay grade.
Well, but what they'd have to do to do any further subdivision, they have to do a major subdivision.
Any further would be,
Yeah,
yes.
they'd have to have it rezoned residential, and then they do a major.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So there may be, you know, there may be 3 expensive homes built.
Or, yeah.
Or they do a major, but they're banking on that we've got sewer up here. That's what's,
Well, that's what made Marquis buy what he bought.
which is fine. I mean, that's why we have,
People need homes.
that's what,
Yeah. We keep saying we're short.
when you put in sewer,
Marquis said those 24 up there is gonna be between 750 and $1 million, 2 to 3 acres each one.
well, and the only way they get it developed is they gotta connect to sewer. Now, these here could do an on-site system, but
You could get an on-site system.
that's true. But now you're doing an on-site with. you know,
How big
which
are
it
those
could be.
lots?
4.6.
Each one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so guaranteed that we're into so what happens is when they go to try to transfer later, sometimes it requires, unless they deed it out after this plat, which, we'll see. This is Miller. I don't know.
I mean, we have no reason not to.
No, I mean, it's as long as 100% of the owners of 100% of the land being platted join in the plat, what happens is you end up with later, let's say, one of them says, well, I own this and I'm gonna deed this to so-and-so. Well, it's gonna take everybody's signature on that deed. Sometimes they don't understand that, but we have to, it's a title
Well, it's
issue.
gonna be interesting to see what comes of that, but.
No, that's fine.
It's not Amish now, but who knows what.
No,
Anyhow,
yeah.
I moved we accept the Wabash River bid, Stan.
I'll second that.
It depends if they do that after the plan is approved, that helps matters, but sometimes they
Nope.
they don't.
It's funny. I'm just here for the size and location. That lawyer's up there.
That's right. One spot.
Mhm,
Deep in the weeds.
it's likely.
Yeah. I bought 40 acres 8 months ago, 3 days after I bought it, and the Amish were looking for horse. Like I said, I can do it, yeah, taking a sign out of it. Signs, I told him, you want to make some money? I said, well, what do you got in mind? He says, I'll give you more than you just paid.
I bet.
400 west,
And I
100
promised only
south.
one building site. I said, nah, keep it.
Mhm.
What you got here?
400 west, 100 south,
400 west.
One big 40 acre
100 south.
roughly. Divided it
Okay.
into 3 lots, just 2 big ones and then a 4 acre for, I'm sure, building a house.
Yeah,
That's the 3 lots, 39, 35 and 4.
okay.
Okay, so this is the owner though is Gerber here,
About it.
Gerber, right?
Yep.
And what's it called here? Gerber, okay, it's Gerber Schwartz. Okay. Okay, well,
Road frontage, 100 south on all 3.
One more, didn't see that last one.
Four.
Even, okay,
4 acres.
it's so small. I missed it.
69, 74, 80 acre farm. No buildings on there now, Mark?
Nope.
This is an open ditch here?
Yep.
So same thing through here. If this is approved, then
No,
if someone
sorry.
wanted to,
That's a legal tile.
that's a located tile.
Yes, that's a tile.
Okay,
Sorry.
No, that'd be Blake.
so,
That's
so,
Blake, this is Blair.
so somebody, if they wanna, if this is approved, we got 2 plots, okay, plus that, okay. So if somebody, they wanted to split this 35 in the three parcels, they'd have to do what?
Rezone.
A major subdivision, which kicks in rezoning. You have to rezone when you major, have to.
As I say, other than that, they couldn't have split it.
You can't stay ag, it can be
So the
anything
re-
else, just not ag.
That rezoning would go before the plan commission with a recommendation in the commissioners.
Where it's gotten hairy, and you're just now had your first meeting, but we've had some people. So the plan commission is the one that made all these new rules, and so we have to rezone when it's a major, and yet we've had some people come in for a rezone, and the plan commission is like, well, I don't know, that's out in the middle of nowhere, and we're like, that's your rule. You know, the plan commission shouldn't complain about rezoning if that's what they asked for. It's hard to,
Well, you
it's
know,
hard to complain about
history,
it
you
when
know
they
the
ask for it.
history behind this.
I do, but
Yeah, but that's what it says, so until it's changed, that's
yeah,
what the
right
rule
now it
is.
says you gotta rezone it, and when they bring it in, then they kind of give them heck about rezoning in the middle, you know,
Well,
on
If
Winchester
you
Road,
wanna
and it's
know,
like,
if,
well, we
if,
have to.
hey, if you wanna know the reason, just travel southeast to Geneva
So I,
and take a look at things.
I take a motion to,
I'll second it.
All right.
oh, don't mind.
All right, great.
You got it, daddy.
I'll split more.
by the last one, I got all back.
That one, yeah.
Hey, Doug, I found some keys, I'll take them with me.
Well, I got it wired for anybody that starts my truck that's not me, be careful.
Real, close up.
All right. So this is just a 2-lot subdivision. This lot already existed. That was not part of it. So it's just this here, and they put lot 1 at 20 acres, and they put lot 2 at 56.
Who's the owners of it?
There's 224 at.
7, it's 400 west,
Oh, and 750 north.
750 is up here, 224 is down there, so it's not on that. There is no roads to even show you on this map.
Gotcha.
Everything's off of 400. That's that stretch where it's an hour or a mile and a half before you have a road,
So
so,
this is the only access right here.
yep, on 400, yep.
I don't see any problem with it. Mark, you? Okay, then Stan, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, I'll second that.
It's just north of like, what's the biggest little bird out there?
Pleasant or,
Pleasant Mills, no,
Magley?
it's not that far. That's the one back.
Thompson or Maggie one.
No, this is just north of Preble.
Rebel, thank you. That's the word I couldn't come up with.
yeah,
Drawing a blank. That's just north of Rebel.
Okay, oh wow, that's what it is.
All right, thank you. I got it.
Doing it.
yes. You want to control it? Oh,
Buy it. Well, control it, buy it.
anything on our new building? Over on Quarter Date?
They added they opened it up this morning for the plumber to add a water line to get a spigot in the south bay, because she thinks they're gonna wash vehicles off, so. We're adding, down the wall, and went through the center wall. And, other than that, we're still waiting on utilities.
What kind of heat is that? Those strip?
We have gas,
Tube heaters then?
no, just Resner heaters
Oh, okay,
hanging in the corner.
very good.
Yeah.
Did you,
One in each corner. And now,
Marquis building just down from the American Legion, have you seen that?
yeah, that's way too expensive, in my opinion, but whatever. Very nice. It's gonna be very nice.
Got 9 big doors on the north end, how many's he got on the back end?
I don't know. It's bigger than the fire station. It ought to meet all their needs forever, I would hope.
You're putting in a water line, you said now?
Okay,
Yeah, we're just adding, we have water in, we're just adding another spigot. Okay. It's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think Rick ever came back in.
no,
Probably get called out somewhere.
Yeah. Mark, do you have anything for us or Clayton?
I think we've got, this is the appointment for Megan Wilson to the District 3 Advisory Board member for EMA.
Did we do that last week?
I think maybe they approved it, but I think you need the form.
Oh,
This is the actual form,
Okay,
so.
so they've already approved, they just need to sign it.
Yeah,
Wasn't that done last week, Tony?
District 3 Advisory Board member.
Same thing as last week.
Yeah. I thought too, we made a motion.
You did it last
Yeah, we did.
Yep, that needs signed.
I was just gonna do a reread of that. Justin Hummel.
I thought Angie already had that upstairs.
Yeah, I actually I had this, I've got this up.
Because that's what Brooke pulled up for me, so.
Where did it come from?
Brooke sent it to me.
Yeah, but where did this originate?
I think it's our county. Or not.
Is it in our,
Because I asked her what we had on file and that's what she sent me, so.
You can sign it again, but I think I might already have it.
from Lynn's office? Is this in our,
No, I'm not sure where Brooke got it from, but I thought. I've not been involved.
yeah, I need to do some
Okay.
research on this and figure out where that's coming from, because if we're gonna, do we need to pass this as a new ordinance, or?
Because I asked her
Make
if
some
we had
changes to it.
anything on file.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and it may be,
If you're willing to just give it till next week,
Sure.
possibly.
I gotta find out.
yeah, no,
where it's
there's
at.
nothing urgent. Justin keeps after me. Oh, we need to get signed out.
Justin from
Hummel, Monroe Fireman.
Monroe, okay.
So,
Yeah, I'll find out where.
and actually not just Justin, the, Farm Bureau had a meeting last Friday night. One of the things that they do is, adopt actions that they would like to see taken. And so one of the actions that the Farm Bureau would like to see is a push for everybody having reflective signs. So.
Yeah, we'll find out where that's at now, and that may be.
resolution.
Yeah. So, yeah, Eric, I'd given a copy to Eric and Jim and Ed, so
Oh,
just
that thing you
kind
gave us?
of, just kind of hang on to those.
Oh, okay. I was gonna put it in verbatim. I was just gonna type it up.
Well,
Yeah.
The Farm Bureau only does, they have their members can vote on a resolution, and the resolution would only be a recommendation to legislators.
Yeah.
That's all it
For
is.
years. Oh, yeah, I covered those meetings.
It's not, nothing in stone at all.
Yeah, it sounds to me like this is, because this is coming from some sort of a manual or model ordinance. That's what we got to figure out, and if it's something that we need to
Okay.
put in place, or if it's already in place. I can't tell where it's at, so I'll find out. And I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, obviously it's been, we've had required, numbering. So,
Could be a large number.
yes, it's dictating that the size for, house numbering out in the county be at least 3 inches, that it be, on reflective material so that it can be seen. recommends that it be.
Very open space,
Right.
open area.
Recommends that it be, close to the edge of the road at the corner of the property. So obviously for police and fire to be able to respond, find places. It's, it's a recommendation. You have to have numbers, but it's a recommendation that you have it in this format, be reflective, be in a location that can be readily identified. Obviously, it's, some house numbers are really hard to see.
Yeah.
Others are much better, so trying to adopt some uniformity. So,
Might be about that big bushes. You can't see it at all. It's not like they're pushing feet tall.
right, well, but you're in the city, so you govern by city ordinance, but this is for county.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, don't put anything out as far as that yet, but. Okay. All right, anything else from you guys?
I can jump on mine. I previously sent all of you, and I didn't know with Commissioner Bailey not being here, we probably can't pass the resolution related to the availability for the county to use BOT delivery with construction projects, right?
Is that in the form of an ordinance?
It's in the form of a resolution.
Oh, it's a resolution?
It's a resolution, yep. And I confirmed with statute.
Did you get
that's all
that
that's
email
required.
done?
No, but I got an idea what the BOT is about.
Correct. So this resolution, and again, so BOT stands for Build, Operate, Transfer. This resolution itself doesn't obligate the county ever to use BOT delivery for construction projects. However, as a precursor to ever using it, if the county would like to in a construction project, you do have to have this type of resolution on file. So there's no obligation to the
Right.
county. It's just a precursor that has to be done if we ever do want to use that.
So when the design build was a big thing, years back, did the county have to have a resolution to use a design build concept also?
I don't recall, but they would have had to have approved that process at some point for their particular project, yes. Yeah, they would have had. to approve that format.
I don't feel comfortable voting for that today without Steve Bailey being here.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any urgency. I appreciate you sending that out because that way it gives us all a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
And, just obviously with what you said, that it creates no obligation on our part. I think at some point, it would certainly be an advantage to us if we ever did decide to use that system.
Yeah, it may be.
Well, and I mean, we would have to do that, to use that system.
So,
I just hold off on it
yeah,
until you get all
that's
three of you
perfectly
here.
fine to wait till Steve. I just wanted to
Yeah.
at least alert you, I guess, Doug, if you haven't seen it, that definitely.
Yeah,
sent it
well,
to you last week.
there was a conference down at the Commissioners Convention on that. And what it amounts to is if the county by statute cannot purchase a property for the average of 2 appraisals, it gives you an out, be able to continue a project using this method. I just want to make sure that the general public would also understand the concept, because the initial perception that the general public is not going to be all positive because it's not traditional.
No, understand that, I mean.
It's not maybe traditional in the historical sense, but as we talk to people and listen to people from across the state, it's not uncommon either.
It's not uncommon, but still not traditional. And
Yeah.
if something's not traditional, the first
Yeah.
time someone in the general public hears of it, they're saying, whoa, what's this? And then you
Yeah.
got to explain it to everybody.
So. Yeah,
No, again,
Yeah.
I can
But
bring
yeah,
it back to
thanks
you
for
guys to
putting-
discuss.
putting that in front of us and.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss it some more, and then once Steve's here, maybe we can address it again.
No problem.
Okay, thanks, Clayton.
Thank you. All right, anything else, Mark?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need that.
We don't need
We did it
that.
last week. We got a signed copy up there already. And I've
Okay.
already called Megan to come and sign it.
Okay, Shannon, do you have anything for us?
I do not, but thank you.
Okay, anything else from the general public? We have Jenny Bauer Schultz here from the city council. Is there anything that you'd like to bring forward? Okay. And I don't see anybody else.
I couldn't get on the agenda back.
Shelley, would you like to come on up?
Mark, as soon as Megan sends out what we have up there, we'll. get
So the
copies
reason
of it.
I, here today is I'm not gonna be able to
What's
attend
that?
next week's,
We already have it
meeting.
upstairs.
So I wanted to hurry up and
Just
get
sign
in
it.
because I'm gonna attend the council meeting on the 11th.
Okay.
The first thing I'm gonna probably ask for, as you probably are aware of, all our machines, equipment is starting to become older. So I had, I guess when Mike was here, he was going through the offices and he's already had asked you guys about copiers. Well, we are also in our clerk's office need scanners, and they are desktop scanners that go in for each, everybody has to have one. So that they can actually, when a paper gets filed, it goes right into and skins into the state filing case. So I did a quote from Perry, and it's going to be like $9,000 to replace all 9 of them. So before I would need your approval so that I can actually ask the council that I'm going to ask for that money. Actually,
So when you need those scanners, is that a whole separate machine from the printers?
yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's just a desktop scanner, and they're starting to get worn out because actually, if you're aware that we're also scanning a lot of documents into the cases, to preserve and get rid of the physical file. But
Sure.
from 2018, everything is online now and be e-filed, so we still have pro se people that will come in and we have to physically scan.
So in other words, you want to update your scanner, but it's not in your budget, so you're going to do the council to ask for an additional
Actually,
approval?
this one I'll probably request for the clerk perpetuation fund that we have. I'll probably be able to pay out of that to cover that. So that will be okay on that
Okay,
aspect.
well, what do you need from us?
Just approval that I'm going to go in front of council.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
Because it's
no.
over 5,000, I think that's.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's it,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I have no problem.
And the second thing, I just was talking to Mike, and he might talk to you about it as well. Desktop computers are going to be having to be replaced. We have about, I think, 10 of them. And that also includes the public terminals out in the hallway that the public are able to access. So we're going to have to replace all these desktops because they are starting to fall. Already have.
How urgent is that? Is that something that you can put into this budget cycle?
See, that's going to be the thing Mike and I will have to talk to in front of council as far as where we're going to grab the funds to pay for all these replacement desktops. Because I don't know if I can use it with the clerk because it is a desktop computer. So I just wanted to let you guys know where today that in front of council, I'm going to be also asking for how to pay for new desktops.
Yeah. Well, you know how it goes. You gotta coordinate everything with Mike and then figure out, like you
And
said.
I don't have an idea how.
Whether it's coming out of his budget or your budget or how it's gonna, yeah.
And I asked him what it would be an estimate, and I don't have that number, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
On the scanners, if you have that in your clerk perp fund, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, yes, you would have to come since it's over 5,000 to the commissioners, but if she has that in her clerk perp fund,
Do I
her
have to
budget
do
to
that?
spend it, why would she need to go to council?
No?
Probably don't have to.
All right, then scanners will be all inside, but
Because
it's
if you
going
have
to be
it-
the desktop one, computers. is
That
fine.
would be fine. But this one, I don't think you have to go before council for the scanners. It's just the approval because it's above $5,000 needs to be done by the commissioners.
Yeah, but if it's in a budget, then it can be spent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And especially your clerk
unless-
perp fund, so.
Yeah, if you don't have to appropriate money in the clerk perpetuation fund, I don't think you do, because that's.
No, it's there. You don't have to
It's there to be
appropriate it,
used.
so you don't have to go to council for that.
Well, but I thought I'd do.
The other thing maybe, but
That's going to be the one. I didn't realize how much of an urgency it was, so
Yeah.
that's why I was trying to hurry up and get in, so. All
okay.
right, thanks.
All right. Thanks, Shelley. Okay, Rick, did you have a report for us? I already marked you off my list. I don't know.
We were this close to adjournment, Rick. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Tony's getting hungry.
Last week I wasn't at the commissioners meeting. I was dealing with a heating issue at the courthouse. We have a compressor out of one of the Mitsubishi units. There's two that work together. That's how they work. One will run, then the other one will run.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that, that we had,
Well,
yeah.
If you remember right, in between Christmas and New Year's, we replaced one.
Mhm.
It's the same one that's connected to it. It's just the other one now. The problem is, there's not a compressor in the United States. So it's gonna take like 6 weeks to get it.
Shelley, you might want to listen to this because you had some cold feet in the courthouse.
So 6 weeks is what I've been told to get that part in. Shelley wanted me to mention that she had bought in some heaters through her budget for her room, her office. What I did, I got a barrel heater, which Don Myers supplied, electric heater. We ran a cord, I had to run some power, something like a 30 amp.
That's what I was wondering with all those heaters, how that power
So
supply
this is
is.
separate. I took it right out of the box. I had Gene Blakey wire it. Looks like a stove plug. Range plug.
Oh, sure.
So that's what I have running in there right now to help alleviate the coldness. Thank God it's like 50 degrees warmer than it was last Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday. So that's what's going on with that. There's a water fountain down in the gymnasium. It was running slow. I plunged it, got some coffee grounds out of it. It worked. A few weeks later, same thing. So I got with Jeremy Gilbert. I had it snaked by Vern Andrews. They couldn't get through it. So sometime this
Is that an
week.
old galvanized pipe or something?
Yeah.
Probably.
So this week, I'm not sure what day, said he would get to it. They're gonna try to jet it. So if that don't work.
Well, and then on top of it, it's probably a small pipe. It's probably like
Yeah,
a
it's not
2-inch
very-
galvanized.
Yeah, it's not very big. So then we'll just cross that bridge when it comes with Jeremy. I mean, what do you want to do? You know, you want to relocate it or whatever you guys.
See what happens with Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a small drain like that that runs under the house, and they've got a small cutter
Yeah.
just for that, so
The problem is that it goes in, then it turns.
oh,
So
yeah.
trying to get it around that bend is what they're having
Yeah.
issues with. But, yeah. There's a lot of other things today, I'm doing spring cleaning because it's 50 out here. Yolanda and Cameron Johnson, they were over trying to get the chandeliers all cleaned in the courthouse. Trying to spit that up, and we'll keep working on it, and then we'll move to the next one. So just different things going on, but those are the two main things I wanted to bring to your attention.
Well, this is for another day, but in relation to the courthouse and the heat system, you know, sometime we may need to take a good look at something beyond the compressor issues. And,
Yes.
but for another day, you know, right now, we're trying to keep things warm, do it best we can.
That's something that Judd Myers, last week, we talked about it. So we gotta come up with a plan. I mean, we're looking at 18 to 15-year-old units here.
Yeah.
And then we run into this problem.
Yeah, well, like I said, probably another day, we need to take a closer look at some of the stuff. Because we want to keep this building functional.
That's all I have, gentlemen.
very good.
Thanks, Rick.
All right. Anything else from the general public?
Move to adjourn.
Second. All right, meeting adjourned.